Last week, we took a look at the all-new iOS 14 private beta for the iPhone, and I'm quite disappointed at it. And my first impression of it is not quite good, due to the widget is not interactable. But the smart stack doesn't count. Flipping through a whole series of widgets is not interactable. So, is there any difference between the iPad and the iPhone version? And I would say almost. Almost every feature in the iPhone is in the iPad too. And iPadOS 14 takes this version to an even greater height. Let's see why. But if you want to know some of the common features shared between these two devices, click the link below the description to find out my last week video on iOS 14. But let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into the video and show off some of the new features in iPadOS 14. We will start with a bang. Let's talk about Scribble. With Scribble, it transforms the iPad much closer to a real paper, with a new way you will be interact with your iPad. When I say much closer to a real paper, I really mean it. First off, automatic conversion. Anything you write will automatically convert into a nice and tidy text. And I must say, the conversion is quite accurate. Even with my messy handwriting, it is able to keep track quite nicely. Since this new version of iPadOS is able to detect your handwriting, it is natural that you could write on any text field. For example, in Maps or Safari search bar. With this, you don't have to put your Apple Pencil away just to type on the screen. But Apple is making this one step further. When you realize you just made a mistake in writing, just scratch the word to delete it. Just like how you normally do when you make a mistake writing on the paper, right? You could circle a word to select it in order to cut or copy it. Aside from all this, together with the Notes app, but I'm sure other developers will take advantage of this when the iPadOS 14 release. Scribble also lets you smart select all your handwriting text as if it was a typed text, and is able to copy it to other applications too. Other than writing text, sometimes you may jot down phone number, address, link, which all of these can be tapped and turned into a link. Say goodbye to your not so perfectly shaped circle, triangle, and even square. Now everything will be in perfect shape. But if you want to have your own style of shape, just don't hold the pencil after you draw. Coming from Notability, the shape recognition tool is finally built into the operating system. Whew. As an Apple Pencil user, this feature is seriously long overdue. But I really appreciate it finally coming to the iPad. And there's one more feature to add into the iPad to make it much more useful. In iPadOS 14, Apple also made multiple apps taking advantage of the iPad larger screen. The sidebar of the apps, like File and Photos, get a pleasing upgrade. The sidebar now has a much rounder design, and with the pull-down menu, will let us quickly and easily access more apps function from a single location. Compared to iPadOS 13 File apps, the redesigned sidebar is miles better. The search in the iPad is much more Mac-like. Now, it does not take over the whole screen and will float on top of your home screen. Not sure about you, but with this compact design element, it makes me feel that the iPad is much more a multitasking device, as you are not limited to doing one thing at a time. But there are also things that I'm quite disappointed about, and hope it will get introduced in the upcoming beta. And that is why can't we put our widget from the sidebar into our home screen? Why? With the screen real estate of the iPad, seeing multiple widgets is a godsend, but you still can't interact with it though. How about users that normally use their iPad in portrait mode? They will need an extra swipe to get to their widget. My guess is that it's due to a limitation of the widget size. I think the difference in horizontal screen size when you flip between portrait and landscape mode will affect the way that the widgets show due to the screen size difference. And I hope Apple will find a way to accommodate it. And I really want to see the widget can be dragged out from the sidebar. And that's it. The iPadOS 14 gets all the upgrade, I mean almost all the upgrade, in the iOS 14, like Safari, Maps, and Widget. But with all the exclusive new features that I just mentioned, the iPadOS is taking the iOS experience to a whole new level. And that's it. Like and subscribe if you find my content helpful. And thanks for watching. Ciao!